Good morning. Are we pointing at me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure. Yes, we're gonna welcome you again to the Canvas Board. We'll call the meeting to order. Do we have to do the oath again?
No.
We'll do it at the end, okay. We don't have anything for you, which is great. So that means that whatever letters came in yesterday, we were able to match them, and we were able to clear those ballots and process them. We didn't have any that came in that did not match, that would go into the still no match category, and we didn't have any new ballots come in that didn't match that we'd present to you as signature does not match for you to look at. We had no voter intent issues with the ballots that we processed, so no additional decisions that we would present to the Canvas Board. We're presenting you with official results, and as well as a couple of addendums. So we've got two races that qualify for a recount. On the last page of the handout we gave you, there's a little, just a little quick recap. So by law, any race where the difference between candidates is less than 0.5% and the total votes cast for both candidates, 0.5% of the total votes cast for both candidates. So that doesn't include undervotes, overvotes, write-in votes. It's the difference between the winner and first and second place. And as long as that difference is less than 2,000 votes, we're required by law to do a recount. So we did have two races. The City of Bremerton Council District number 6 finished at just under 0.3 of a percentage point, a difference of 4 votes. And then the North Perry Water District number 13 Commissioner position 2, just over 0.25%, a difference of 10 votes. So our recommendation is that next week, Wednesday, we'll perform the recount. Now we're doing it on Wednesday because we're going to take Monday and Tuesday to prepare for the recount. So we have to go in, pull out all the relevant ballots that are in batches right now in boxes, secured downstairs in storage. We're gonna pull those up, identify all the ballots, make sure we have everything, put it in order, and then on Wednesday, we'll do the actual recount, which we're gonna bring in about 10 folks that helped us with the election, our normal election workers, as well as full-time staff. Shouldn't take more than a couple hours to actually get the recount done on Wednesday, once we have everything prepared. And then we'll reconvene. Our recommendation is to reconvene the Canvas Board on Thursday morning, December 2nd at 9 a.m. to certify the results of the recount. Any questions about that?
Well, I don't, it's not a question, but I think we want to make sure we say that this recount is actually going to be a hand recount.
Yes.
By law, these numbers are outside of hand recount range, and this would be a machine recount by law, but we feel that it would be better to do a hand recount in this case because the numbers are manageable enough. These aren't full county races, so that's how we're going to be doing this recount. Is going to be a hand recount. We'll be live streaming this, so you'll be able to connect here, as well as you'll still be able to see the live stream camera in the ballot room, so there'll actually be 2 different angles there. But know that the live stream camera from the ballot room on our webpage will be blank for a brief while in the beginning of the meeting, because we'll be using the screen that sits in front of it to show instructions and let the observers understand what was going to be happening during that.
We may actually do it on YouTube, so if we do it on YouTube, we might, oh, I'm sorry, that screen will be blank, I'm sorry. Never mind.
I knew what I was talking about.
Okay, yes, thank you, that's a good point. The hand recount is more satisfying when we actually pull the ballots out and count them by hand than just running through the machine again, especially in such a close race, like Paul said, with a manageable amount of ballots. We can do it in just a couple hours by hand.
And what David's referencing too with getting ready for it is that we sort the ballots by a consolidated precinct, so into areas of the county as we work with them, but now we have to actually go in and open up those boxes and find those actual ballots inside of all of the batches that they've been sorted into. So we're going to prepare for that with the 2 days beforehand, so that we have all of the ballots for the 2 races ready to go. And this is something we do as a county, this pre-sorting with every election. Other counties, they don't do any pre-sorting. All their ballots just randomly go through. So when they have to do a recount, they have to open everything to go back and find those ballots again. So this is it's an efficiency and a cost savings, how we manage just utilizing our sorter in a little bit different way. So.
Okay, so we don't have any other things to report. We did we had, I would say, with the exception of the issue in Bremerton 6, which we're going to discuss in just a minute, I just have to commend the staff for doing such a really good job, and all the election workers we had. Other than that, we had we were reconciled to 0, which is great. No other errors or anything like that. We had some process improvements that helped us identify a couple of instances where voters had put multiple ballots in an envelope, and we were able to identify that before it got through process, which has in the past been a challenge for us. So that was really a success. So I just wanted to share that and thank the staff and all the workers as well. So what we're going to be certifying is all races except for the Bremerton District 6 race, which Paul's he's gonna kind of go over the addendum which we're adding to the end of this certification, that we don't feel that we can confidently certify that race, so we're going to petition the courts to rerun. So Paul, did you want to kind of go over the details with that?
Yeah, so I've already been briefing the canvas board here, and we've been sharing with the candidates and the media and the city. But so for the rest of you here with canvas board, we are filing this addendum for the certification. So what happened was on November 2nd, we conducted a general election of all eligible voters in Kitsap County. This included state, county, and local positions and issues, including the race for City of Bremerton Council District 6, which included precincts 13.0, 16.1, 22.2, 29.0, and 30.0. On April 26th of 2021, the Kitsap County Commissioners approved Resolution 075-2021, submitted by our office to amend the precinct boundaries. And this is done to comply with RCW 29A.16.040, which requires that the number of active registered voters in a precinct does not exceed 1,500. Our resolution 075-2021 requests that a portion of precinct 15 be moved into precinct 16. And on October 27th of 2021, the auditor's office was made aware of an error, the clerical error, that a voter from the Bremerton Council District 5 notified us that they had received a ballot with District 6 commissioner race on it. Council position race on it. After further investigation, it was determined that the portion of precinct 15 that had been moved into precinct 16 had been sent ballots with the wrong council race on it. The area covered 183 households and 389 eligible voters. It was determined at this time that 36 votes had already had their ballots, 36 voters had already had their ballots returned and fully processed. And due to the voter secrecy in the ballots, we weren't able to distinguish properly which ballots were voted in that precinct correctly or not. So analysis of other boundaries on the ballot did not identify any further errors. So we were able to isolate that this was contained just to this one area. So on October 28th, we immediately suspended all of the ballots that were out in that area that we had done this, that this error had happened in. And on October 28th, our staff went out and hand-delivered new ballots to to every voter in the affected area. We successfully deployed 2/3 of those ballots, And we coordinated with the post office, who picked up the remaining ballots and they delivered those in the postal delivery of the next day. So everybody had their ballots by that Friday, the 29th. If we weren't able to make contact with a voter, we'd also left a letter explaining why they were going to be receiving another ballot the next day. Due to the extremely close results in the City of Bremerton Council Position 6 race, right now 4 votes, it's our determination that the 36 erroneously voted ballots could have affected the results of the election. And thus, on December 3rd, we will be asking the court to require that the error be corrected by authorizing a special election for the City of Bremerton Council Position 6 on the February 8th, 2022 special election. And so we've been working with the city, like I said, with the council district, or with the council, and with the canvas board to get all of this ready for that. The reason that there's going to be a slight delay on asking the courts is that with the holiday coming up the end of the week and the court calendar, the next time we can go before the court's going to be next Friday. So we'll have everything ready to go to court early next week.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
So the hand recount is going to occur for those 2 races. Then there'll be a separate certification of those. There is then a result assumed, presumed from at least that particular race. So what happens for the individual who's successful in that? They would then, if it's a change in individual or not, obviously someone is sworn in to serve in that role through the certification of the special election if the courts agree. And if the courts don't agree, then the results of the hand recount stand. So if they turn down the petition,
Right.
say no special election, then the hand recount stands.
This would be something that the City of Bremerton will have to confirm, but yes, the hand recount would be what we will be certifying with an addendum explaining the 36 ballots in there. But we are fully expecting the court will rule in the direction that we're requesting. This happened in the Silverdale Incorporation vote of 1999. There were voters that received ballots that lived outside of the proposed incorporation area, and voters that lived inside that did not receive ballots. And so the office went to the courts with the same type of a scenario and requested it be rerun, and it was granted by the courts. So because the way the law is written, it says that if the margin of error could have affected the results, then that's the grounds for granting this. And in this case, because of that 4-vote difference. The other part of your question that we didn't is that the current member, or the current sitting council member is an appointed council member, and my understanding is that appointment would continue. But again, that would be the City of Bremerton decision that appointment would continue until the special election on February 8th. And then the one thing left off of this is that February 8th special election will be certified on the 18th of February, 10 days later. And the reason we're running this in the special election is that the Bremerton School District has elected to run a measure in the special election, and we want to avoid voter confusion by having 2 separate ballots out that would be affecting that area that we're sending to. So we're putting them all on one ballot to make sure that we avoid any kind of voter confusion.
So if you're making any edits to the addendum for the commissioner or council race, you also want to make this February of 22. Okay.
I caught that when I was reading.
The last question I had was really about the cost of this, because we do sort of that proportionate share of
Right.
across in therefore does it fall to the City of Bremerton for this, or because of the clerical error does that cost get absorbed by the county?
The county absorbs the cost on that, and in running it in conjunction with there's a couple of different school districts that'll all be on the ballot in the special election. It's minimizing those costs as well.
Yeah, because we'll
And
be
the
able
area.
to run a single ballot and not separate ballots and not separate envelopes and return envelopes. The cost is, additional cost is minimal. It's basically ink on ballots. It's because we're already gonna be processing the election. So, but even if it is minimal, it would not be charged to the city of Bremerton because.
And we're talking about like 3,600.
Right, so it's a smaller
Yeah.
subset
Right.
from the school
Yes,
district, so.
right.
yeah.
Right, and also just a point of clarification too on the, when we recount next week, and on Thursday when we certify the results of the recount, it still doesn't certify that Bremerton race. The Bremerton race will still be, not official, and that's why we're gonna rerun it, because, but by law, we have to do the recount anyway. There's no way around doing the recount, even though the results will not be official. But we will be certifying that,
North Perry.
officially the North Perry Water District results.
And the reason the recount is happening is that by law, the courts cannot relieve us of the responsibility to perform that recount. You know, regardless of this, the petition is that they don't have the authority because of what the law, the way the law is written.
I just think it has the potential for an interesting, series of events. If case scenario, right, that the results flipped, because right now those 4 votes are leaning towards the current person that was appointed into the position. But if for some reason that changed, what happens between certification of this and the special election?
It wouldn't affect I mean, that would be, I guess, the city's determination, but my understanding is that even if the appointed person were to lose the recount, they still would retain that position because the results aren't officially
Certified.
certified.
Okay.
So until we certify the official results in February, the appointed person would, but that's us interpreting the city's charter, so they're gonna be doing that determination themselves.
And that's why we've been communicating with them and.
I just find it interesting.
Yeah.
So any further questions? Okay, then here's the, you guys can finalize the oath. We have 2 copies, so we need to sign both. Thank you very much. Steve, did we get signed off, Rob to
Yes.
sign off?
Yes.
Okay. So, and just for information, I think next week, the Canvas board will look a little bit different because, but the sitting board members have the authority to appoint replacements if they can't make it. And so we will have appointments, and we've already had that officially designated. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll adjourn this meeting and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.